Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Damn, that's a nostalgic trip we took right there.
Yo, back in time.
Jeez.
Back in time.
Y'all gotta tune into that top 5, man. We got a lot of options for y'all. Get that nostalgia on.
This is the best top 5 on the internet. I gotta tell you guys right now, like the best top 5s are coming from the Mayor's Office podcast.
No fucking cap.
Talk to him.
That's probably gonna be one of my new catchphrases. I've been doing it for a little while. I'm getting comfortable. Talk to him.
Hey.
Talk to
Got
him.
that from Conway.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
Nah, talk to him was a good one.
I like that.
That's an automatic hype. Talk to him, and one I always say is talk your shit, bitch.
Talk your shit, bitch.
That one goes for all genders.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to get canceled.
No specifics.
Damn, I haven't seen y'all in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Been a couple of weeks, yo.
Yeah.
I was working out with my boy today, Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, yo, what happened to the podcast, bro? Don't tell me you gave up.
No way.
And I'm like, hell nah, nigga.
Mm-mm.
I'm still here. I'm still striving. We just had to take a little break.
30 for 30, man.
You feel me? We had a couple bad snow days. You had Soul Series.
Including today.
Today, yeah. I was tempted to text, man, and be like, yo, can we push this to another day? Scheduling and shit, but we're back. We're going to continue to be back. You feel me? But yeah, I miss y'all.
Man, it's a pleasure to be back. Listen, of all the pods I record, none have energy like this.
Jeez.
This is just different energy with this pod. This pod is just something I don't want it to end, honestly.
Yeah.
It's just a vibe. It's just a vibe.
I look forward to recording consistently throughout my regular day and week. So yeah, this is definitely something I look forward to. Chris, I know you want to sit back and just say this is your favorite pod to just be a part of, but I know you're compromised. You have a lot of people coming through these walls here, so you don't have to say it.
No, listen, he made a little TikTok reel. We're gonna do our social media rankings in a bit, but
the one from a few weeks ago,
and we were in it. So,
I was surprised.
So you know what that means?
I was surprised.
The proof is in the pudding, man.
I was surprised. I was very surprised because first I saw your pod and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Then I saw me creeping in there a little bit.
We had to get the mayor in there.
I'm like, yeah, Chris, man, you know how to get me, bro. Just made me feel.
Just wait till I start calling you big bro, you know?
No, we're not. I'll cancel you for that.
Nah, I can't have another man call me big bro, especially a man that I feel is either on my level or above my level like Chris is. You feel me?
No big bros. Someone calling you big bro has to be freshly 18.
Yeah, facts.
They gotta just be able to vote then.
Yeah.
Then
at what age did you stop calling older niggas big bro?
Honestly, for me, it was super early because in high school, doing all the TV stuff that I did, I was around a lot of people way older than me. So it was I can't be calling all these people big bro. And I got put in a position of I don't say power, but a supervisory role at a young age where I had people older than me looking up to me. So it's I can't be calling everybody big bro.
I had one nigga in particular. I actually ended up working for him and shit, but he would be the one person I called big bro. But then I realized the big bro was getting to his fucking head a little bit. So I cut that shit and I switched it up. So now I just call him bro or my G or dog or homie, you know what I'm saying?
You gotta hit him with a little bro one time and just throw him off.
And just see,
see him ball up his fist. I didn't mean nothing to you.
Yeah, exactly,
hit him with a kid, be like, relax, kid.
Niggas get a little hype off the big bro, so I have to cut that shit, you feel me?
Oh, my days. Yeah, this is the Mayor's Office podcast. We're 30 for 30. I feel like reaching the 30th episode is not something small, man.
No way.
I said this at 10. I said it at 20. I'm going to say it at 30. There's a lot of people have never done 30 of anything in their life.
Thanks.
And I feel like, making it to 30 is a big deal. It's your boy Adriel Smiley, AdrielSmiley.com, Adriel Smiley Official.
Talk to him.
AKA The Godfather.
Yeah.
We're here with, we got to talk about your nickname, but introduce yourself.
You already know what it is. It's Ralph, AKA The Mayor, AKA The Last Airbender, AKA Lil Money.
Big money.
Cause I ain't rich out here, man. As Chris keeps sending me them fucking invoices, man.
Nah, big money. We're speaking it.
We're in here, man. We're in here in the mayor's office. I'm really happy. Adriel said 30 for 30. Since the last episode, your boy turned 30.
Hey.
we like to talk about life achievements. We like to talk about things that make us grow, things that make us better, and places that make us better. And 1990 Studios is one of those motherfucking places. Chris, talk to him.
Segway King.
Hey, Segway King in the cut, man. Yo, Chrissy here, 1990 Studios. Yo, happy to be here for another episode of the Mayor's Office. And I gotta say, this no gas, but this is. You know,
Say it.
Why
say
you
it.
gotta? Why? I can't even get it out.
Because you're like, fuck. I gotta say it.
I gotta say it. I gotta let him know.
He was starting to say it, and he's like, "Should I turn back?
Should I turn
Is
back?
it too late?"
Should I
It's too
stop?
late. You gotta
Should I
say it,
stop?
man.
No, but I'd say this is definitely one of the top ones. Highlights of the week. You know, I recently did get asked to jump on another pod. They're like, hey, you know, I see you're on that other podcast. Would you
You're a
ever
hot
be?
commodity, eh?
Yeah, they're like, hey, would you hop on the mic if we were short one time? And I was like, I don't know. I had to think about it, and I
Should
was
have told
like,
me you had to non-compete.
I should
Yeah,
have.
we should've signed you,
I might. Honestly, I didn't. Shout out to them. They got a cool pod, but
It ain't the mayor's office.
it ain't the Mayor's Office, man.
Yo, they
It
got a
ain't the
cool
Mayor's
pod.
Office.
Is like the nice little guy. They got a cool. They got a cool
They got
pod.
a cool little pod
Cool
over
little
there.
pod. You know, they do things. They talk.
We should have put Chris in a 360.
Yeah, we should have wrapped him. Easy deal,
Yo,
man. He would have signed, yo. He would have signed.
Oh my
Over
God.
some drinks, bro. It's okay, man. It's okay.
Yeah, that's the problem, man.
That's crazy. But
Chris, how did you celebrate Black History Month?
By doing the Mayor's Office podcast.
talk to him.
Come
He had to
on.
listen. I hit up Chris. I said, "Yo, Chris, we're gonna record March 1st." He said, "Nah, I need y'all in here in February.
Yo, we need that diversity, baby.
I need y'all in here in February. I gotta celebrate."
You
man.
mind if I get a story off quick?
Yeah.
Don't fucking kill me.
But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate working with y'all. I appreciate doing the podcast. I appreciate all you listeners out there that show respect and show love to the Mayor's Office podcast. Keep liking, keep commenting, keep subscribing, and keep listening. Let's get it started.
No,
Hey.
let's say something at the beginning because I feel like we don't do this housekeeping at the top. Leave us a rating and a review. That's how we go up the rankings. That's how we get highly rated.
No fucking cap.
All y'all listening, leave us a rating and a review. That's it. This 1 word, 2 words. You could just go in there and say bless. That helps the podcast.
Say
You want to see
less.
us do well? Leave us a rating and a review. Simple as that.
Talk to him. I like that shit. But the listeners are growing.
Mhm.
I'm hearing things every day. People are reaching out. People want to be a part of the podcast. And that just warms my cold, dark heart. That a lot of people listen to the podcast and appreciate the fact that we're recording, we're talking and shit, and want to sit right here with us.
Mhm.
Means a lot. Let me tell you guys a funny story before we even get into the list of things that we're about to chat about. So, you know
Man.
me. I like to backtrack on a lot of shit that I say. And like 5-6 episodes ago,
Mhm.
I said, I'm done with dating apps.
Yes.
Nigga, I lied. I'm back on that shit, man. I went back on it a little bit. I needed a break at that time, to be honest, like a mental health break, all jokes aside. Just to, not a mental health break from the dating, but a mental health break to just kind of catch myself and just
Refresh.
make sure, yeah, like I'm refreshed, recharge your batteries and everything like that. And
Mhm.
I felt like it wouldn't be fair to anybody I'm talking to or attempting to want to speak with
Mhm.
that I'm not at my personal, mental, emotional best.
Mhm.
So I went back on the apps recently. So I ended up, this person might end up hearing this, but I ended up matching somebody that I went to school with, but we never chatted, right?
Okay.
So now I know that the podcast is actually a thing. So hear this now. She messages and she says, "Hey, I remember you from York. I see a few friends that are mutuals. They repost everything. So I want to start my own podcast. So can you give me some pointers and chat about it?" And I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm fucking winging it right now, bro.
Yo.
But winging it well.
Yes.
very
So-
well. Very
Yes.
well.
There you go. So yeah, so I had a conversation with her about it, and like it was interesting because like I wasn't even thinking about like this is a match on an app
Mhm.
for us to chat and date. This is like, yo, like we're trying to connect and communicate over that.
Mhm.
So it made me realize like, yo, people are actually seeing this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, that's the thing that I feel like when it comes to podcasting or anything you do, you never see everyone who sees it. You just go on, this got 200 views. You think that's the only people who saw it. There's mad people who saw it, didn't like it, or didn't stay. And I think now the more that we gain momentum with this podcast, we're seeing it more and more and more of like, hey, people are aware. People are seeing what we're doing. And I think 30 is a good place to say this, and I say so in my chest, we are established. We've established ourselves that we're here. It's not a matter of they're starting something now. They do this now.
Yeah.
And I think that is part of, I think, why she's even asking you for advice is like, from seeing what you're doing, she's like, oh, he does this.
Yeah.
You know? And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah.
that is, you can't put a price on that.
I had another guy, he hit me up. By the way, you're absolutely right, Adriel. But yeah, I had another dude hit me up. I went to high school with him. And we're not like close or anything like that. We're acquaintances, whatever. So he hit me up and he's like, yo, I wanted to start my podcast and so I get on the phone with him. Cool dude or whatever. And then he's like giving me pointers on how to podcast a little bit in the sense that like, oh, you guys can try doing this and try doing that.
Oh.
I'm open to it. You know what I mean? And I respect it. But it's not. No, don't do that. Don't do that. That's not. I'm not knocking what he's doing.
I've had those conversations too, but continue.
I like hearing opinions for sure. So, and he's trying to do his own podcast. So I'm like, you know what? Yeah, let me hear you out and hear what you have to say. And what he said, it was pretty valid. You know what I'm saying? But people are getting comfortable enough to at least like step up and say, yo, like I saw this and I saw that. Like, let's get that insight. And this is a key for a lot of people. If you're trying to grow and develop, which we are. You gotta listen to everybody sometimes. But at the same time, don't take everybody's word as like fucking gospel. You know what I mean? There's a little truth to some criticism and there's a little bit of lies to some praise. So you guys gotta think about that. Yo, I just came up with that off the top.
Hey, I like it. I like it.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
This guy's freestyling.
Yo,
yeah, I think the last thing about this whole pod thing, and this goes for anyone making content or trying to grow what they're doing, I think once you're trying to grow, you think that someone who is bigger than you has the recipe. And I always remind people there's a million ways to skin a cat. There are people who have 1 million followers, 1 million whatever, doing everything under the sun.
Yeah.
We forgot about Cake Boss. This dude is really making cakes. No one needs to be making cakes like this. And dude is making millions of dollars, hugely popular.
Who set the precedent for that?
You know what I'm saying? Like he could have said, no one wants a cake with 2 faces on it. Why would I do that?
Yeah.
A whole TV show centered around that type of nonsense. So it's like there's 1 million ways to get popping, 1 million ways to do it. And just because your way isn't popping right now doesn't mean that it's not possible. So I think that's something always to keep in mind when growing what you're doing.
And we got a long way to go. But you know what? Today, I'm very happy. We've had a very long streak of consistently having guests.
Yeah.
We love guests. We welcome guests all the time. And we want to continue to have guests. But sometimes it's good just to have the man them here.
Free up.
Sometimes it's good just to have your people, your day ones.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The people that you started, you growed with and created chemistry with. Sometimes you have some guests and you know the chemistry could be a little off because they haven't done pods before or the timing's off or you develop such a rhythm that, you know what I'm saying? That bringing in a new element might not be the forte, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we're going to get back to guests one day. But I want to do a couple episodes just the fellas.
Now we're on our J. Cole right now. No features. All produced by us, mixed by us, mastered by us. So I'm really rocking with that. And here's the thing I feel like we brought in guests as part of Black History Month. That was that we gotta celebrate as a community. You know what I'm saying? We can't gatekeep Black History Month.
Facts.
You know?
Facts.
Celebrate that as a community. But now that we're moving on to one of the white months,
the other 11 months
that are white months of the year,
the other 11 months,
every month is Black History Month. But
there you go.
You know, now I no offense to any of our guests because we've had some amazing guests on amazing pods, but I do feel like you know we're stronger podding just us.
100 P. I would think the only thing I would ever like outside of like somebody that's coming to like really chat about something is bringing in a girl like that who has some topics that they want to kind of chat about casually. Like I would do that. But yeah, I want to lean away next couple episodes, maybe just have us talk. You know what I'm saying? Get that vibe back up, that energy back up, get that liquor flowing a little bit for episodes. But that's for the people though. It's not even just for us.
No, definitely for the people.
And speaking of the people, yo, half of my friends are in fucking Trinidad right now, bro. And we're dealing with snowstorms. So
Crazy.
Prayers up to you guys, man. You guys are living life, and we'll hold it down till y'all get back.
Yeah, I saw someone tweet that everyone is buying their ticket for Carnival next year already, and I said I just didn't know everyone was so into Soca like that.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, Soca is celebrating their 50th anniversary as well as hip hop. I did not know that. This year.
Oh, that's big.
Just like hip hop is. But again, everyone in Trinidad, I see it too, and I said, I had no idea. You know your Soca friends. Your Soca friends that say, listen, anytime Soca's around, they're gonna be out there. But I'm seeing a little extras.
Yeah.
That I didn't know
Soca
that.
adjacent. Fam.
Yeah, the Soca feature. Like I didn't know.
I ain't mad at it, bro. I saw this and I was one of those people you talked about. I'm ready to go to Trinidad next year. So week after my birthday, on Carnival. I'm not even the biggest Soca guy. I'm nowhere close to the biggest Soca guy.
I can't do it, man.
I will go to a fete if I'm on a level of intoxication. I will have the time of my life. But if I am close to sober or I'm not like halfway there.
Even close. Yeah. Even close is too close.
Yeah, I can't do it. It's just not for me because I never grew up with like Soca like engraved in my childhood.
Yeah, it's not in your bloodstream.
Yeah, it's just Jamaican.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're Jamaican. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It was a dance hall or reggae and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Calm.
So that was it for me. But yeah, I'll definitely go to Carnival next year.
Chris, how do you feel about Soca?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Soca guy, to be honest. Like I'll listen to it at the club. Like
that doesn't surprise
honestly,
me.
It doesn't surprise.
Yeah, if there's a set.
If there's a same ways with Ralph. Like if I'm not, I might not go looking for it, but like, yeah, no, not really. No.
I feel like this is rude to say, but I think Soca music seems so chaotic to me. Like that that's just not my vibe. I just like more chill music in general, you know, whether it's
there's a lot of energy in Soca.
Yeah, and I have a friend who's Trini, one of my best friends in the world.
Yeah.
One year I stayed at his place for like around the Christmas break. Maybe it was Christmas Eve or Christmas Eve.
Mm-hmm.
His family's Trini. His mom was playing Soca Christmas music.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah.
And, me neither. And the Soca Christmas music was you can just imagine what they're talking about. It's like talking about Santa, why you drink off all the rum? And
I know what you're talking about. My cousin's wife's Trini, and like he was playing it at our house one time. Like, yeah.
And it's just like I don't really believe in Santa Claus like that, so I don't feel like it's that deep. But that's a crazy message to have for the kids. Like, you know what I'm saying? The music is already bad for your digestive system, and then on top of it, Santa's alcoholic.
That's crazy. Yeah, I think Soca for me, man, it was just the high energy, like constantly. I couldn't casually listen to it. So I have to be like in an environment like a club or a party or an event, and then I'm like, okay, I can get into the rhythm.
I've seen dudes bumping in the gym. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, but I'm not mad at that.
That would make kind of sense.
I'm not mad at that actually. I feel like my energy would be like pumping.
Yeah. For me in the gym, I kind of like rap to the music I'm listening to. It's music. Okay. It's all songs I know like all the words to. So maybe Soca. Maybe I gotta try Soca out and see how it goes.
Soca size. We're all gonna go to Soca size.
Hey, I'm down.
It's pretty much exercise with Soca. See. I got a friend that he does a lot of DJing.
Yeah.
You probably met him. I did an interview here. Flex Scott Next.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he does like Soca sizes and those type of events. So
that makes sense. That would be good for working out and like doing like high intense cardio because like. It's too fast. It's like so fast. It's like really fast music, right?
It's damn near like hit, but with Soca.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm not.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's one of those. Like, it's one of those things that like, I just feel like it's not my speed. Like, I feel like Soca is one of those types of music that raises your heart rate involuntarily. You can listen to dance hall almost adjacent to hip hop on some like I'm cruising certain dance hall songs.
Yeah.
Soca is like. All of a sudden, you're having an anxiety attack that you didn't plan for because the music is.
Trees are gonna there's a lot. There's the Lucians, anybody from the Bahamas. They're coming for you, man. They're coming for you.
All of those crazy accents.
They're coming for you, boy.
Hey, bye.
They're coming for you, man.
I listen. We didn't talk about this. I think this happened in between our last pods.
Yeah.
With John Tory getting caught with his.
Nah, fuck that. We're still on. We're gonna get cut that. Yo, we're still on this. I got a question for you guys.
That's gonna be canceled.
I got a question for you guys. All right. Well, Chris is married, so I got a question for you as a single man. Would you date a girl that predominantly listens to Soca and goes to a lot of fests?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Have you in the past?
No. I just feel like I wouldn't be attracted to that person. Like if I'm in the car and I give you the aux and you throw on some Soca, like I'm gonna crash. Like so it's like
we're losing all the Soca fans this episode. That's crazy.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I can still rock with you and we can still get along, whatever, but it's like it's not the life I'm trying to live, you know? Like it's not the life I'm trying to live.
You make it sound like they made bad choices in life.
Nah, but you gotta think of it this way: like you lived with a girl before, when you're playing music in the crib and it's like you guys have these. Sometimes it's one person has to ask the other person, but you got to find a medium that it's like you may not know this song, but I'm okay with Conway playing or okay with whatever.
Yeah.
If I'm making breakfast and she's just playing soca,
Yeah.
I don't start my day like that. I start my day playing Cleo Soul
No, you
and
have
D'Angelo.
to have a happy medium.
Like,
Because even in my last situation, you're absolutely right. I would play like hardcore rap, and then she just wasn't fucking with it.
yeah.
And then she would play soca, and I was just like, nah, I'm not really fucking with it. But then we found that happy medium of like R&B or like pop hip hop, more poppy shit. Then it was like, all right, cool. We can play this at the same time. You can do your thing, I can do my thing. So you're right. There needs to be a balance. I predominantly dated women that are into soca, like heavy into soca, like fets all the time. Like
How does that happen?
I don't know. Maybe I give off that energy.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe I give off that energy. I really want to go to R&B concert, but they'd rather go to soca or die. So it's like I gotta find that happy medium for a lot of people that I've dated.
I'm so
in the
not
past.
into that, fam. Like I'm just.
We lost every
No,
bit of our soca demographic.
You're still here to have them.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
You're repping the soca community. Like,
I'm not repping the. Whoa. Don't get this.
Now we lost them. Now we lost them. No, but you got a soca in your history. Like,
I feel that. All right, now we can switch topics to John Tory.
Okay, now that we lost everyone talking about soca,
yeah,
we can move on. But this we didn't talk about because it happened in between the last two pods. For anyone who doesn't know, John Tory got caught with a mistress. He stepped down as mayor of Toronto. But I want to know what that means for our mayor. Like, how does what he does as the mayor affect you as an unofficial mayor?
From one mayor to another.
From one mayor to another, I would. We usually have a council of mayors, different mayors around, and we chat about these things.
Makes sense.
They don't really like to invite me. First is because I was black. Second is because I was unofficial. So now that we officially lost our mayor, they have allowed me to come back into the club.
Okay.
And I would declare one thing. If I were the mayor of Toronto, I would never give bun. One woman man right here. Black men do not cheat.
Tell him again.
I mean, he's not lying.
You know what I mean? It ain't Easter. But I ain't giving bun.
Never give him bun. Yeah,
I
thought that was interesting because I just wanted to know you felt like your name was being sullied because he also was a mayor, you know?
I mean, he was a good person. Like, he was doing a lot of good in the city. And like, yo, how many politicians haven't been in some type of infidelity in the past? You know what I mean? This is a regular thing. I actually feel like he was being blackmailed.
Interesting. Tell me more.
Huh?
Tell me more.
That's a council discussion that we can't really chat about.
Okay.
But I do feel like he was being blackmailed.
What color? Male? What color is the male?
some ebony male.
Ebony male is nuts.
Some ebony male. But yeah, I feel like he was being blackmailed because who's just going to come out and say, unless the mistress, he didn't keep her in check. And that's another option.
And this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this because I already lost all the soca fans. We don't want to lose all the cheating fans and the John Tory fans.
The cheating fans is crazy.
But they're out there. They're out there.
It's
Trust
more than
me.
you think.
Yeah. Trust me. They're out there. Not that the cheating fans, but I think that all of everyone's ire and disgust is in the wrong direction. John Tory was in a public committed relationship. So this woman was extremely aware and still chose to do what she did. Now, she's not the first to do this. We all know people who have been in this position. But I think that, we should put some of our ire toward her as well because this created a lot of kind of, what word would I use? Like,
Bacchanal?
That's not the word I was thinking of.
Okay.
But it created a lot of people getting upset in the city over this happening. And I'm sure she had some understanding that would be the case with this situation. So, I just think we should take some of the blame and hate away from him and spread it evenly. Just spread it evenly.
Yeah,
Equality.
That's fair. Equality on hate.
The most inclusive podcast in the world, Mayor's Office Podcast.
There you go. Inclusive. After you just shit on Soca for the last 10 minutes. Yeah. Chris, how you feel about the mayor?
Oh, man. Which mayor?
Shit. Your bonus is coming, bro. You can stop it.
Hey, man.
Stop it. It says one of our favorite podcasts. It says, which mayor?
Tax season's coming. We need it all.
Facts.
I'm screaming.
Yo, honestly, I don't care. I could care less about the mayor, the Tory, cheating on someone, not cheating on someone, being the mayor, not being the mayor. Honestly, like, I don't even know. Yeah, I don't even know. It's funny how people make such a big deal about it, but like, I just feel like it should be. Yeah, it's between him, God, and his girl. You know,
There you
like
go.
there's no reason for people to get up in arms and like take it that serious. And I don't think it's gonna affect me whether he's the mayor or not in the mayor. You know, I'd love it if our mayor could do more, but like at this point, there's so much stuff that they're not doing. I'm like, it doesn't really affect me if he's the mayor. No.
Yeah, your bills are still due at the same time.
Yes.
Facts.
Yeah.
So would you say that you used to give a fuck, but now you give a fuck less?
Yo, why does Ralph have bars today?
Damn, man. I
What
didn't
do you
really
think of success? It sucks. Too much stress. I'm done.
Okay.
I was ready for
Keep
more.
going, man.
Nah, man, I stole all of that, bro. I stole all of that.
Oh my god, listen, the 30-year-old Ralph has more bars than the 29-year-old Ralph.
Yo.
Sheesh. Yo, 30-year-old Ralph's different, man.
30-year-old Ralph.
How was that
man.
Montreal trip?
Off camera.
We need the cricket sound effect.
I was
one
just
day.
about
No, in all seriousness, nah, the Montreal trip was cool. You know what? It was crazy. We actually, you guys remember that weekend? It was like negative fucking 40 here.
Yeah.
It was just as cold over there.
Of course.
But we still found a way to have fun, to enjoy ourselves, and like go to excursions and see the city a little bit. I saw a lot of like, I went to the Basquiat exhibit.
Okay, yeah, I saw that.
Basquiat exhibit was very dope. A lot of people that go to art galleries, I know they're bullshitting, bro. They don't know what
Yeah.
the fuck
Cap.
is going on,
Have
man.
to be.
I was looking at some of the paintings, and like I could see the in-depth like aspects and concepts that he
detail,
was
yeah.
thinking of, but like I couldn't sit there and tell you like, yo, this picture represented the paradigm shift of the black culture in the shut the fuck up, stop the cap. You know what I mean? I needed like Gordon Rowe or someone to be
Yeah,
up there
to
with me
explain
to
to you.
explain
Yeah,
that shit.
yeah.
I had a picture. The picture was hard as fuck. I was in front of a painting and I didn't know what the fuck the painting meant. And I know a lot of people there were like not understanding it as well. I saw this one dude talking to this girl that she seemed like she was a little bit of a novice in the art game. This homie came in with the turtleneck, the
No.
balding head, the circle glasses. He looked like Steve Jobs, and the way he was explaining shit was fucking hilarious to me, bro. He was saying, yo, when the black community was subsidized and due to redlining is the reason why this is here. I'm like, yo, bro, shut up. She's gonna fuck tonight, bro. You're good, bro. Like,
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do that.
She's in.
You know what I think too is I think it happens with artists in any form of art, but people assume the artist is deep because the art is good, you know? And it's like none of us met Basquiat. Basquiat could have been the same as everybody else. He just wants to drink and smoke and chill. You know,
Yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you assume that this person is so deep in their thinking because their art is good. And it could just be as simple as like, yo, I hate the feds. There's a painting about it.
Yeah.
You know, but we always try and just add some je ne sais quoi to make it more than it is. And it's like, and also, I like that you said that in terms of being like, stop the cap. It's okay to not understand.
I find enjoyment in not understanding.
Yeah.
I think the
teach.
journey of me thinking about something
Mhm.
is priceless.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I feel like and once you go to see some art, enjoy some art, it's okay to not understand. You don't, like at Soul Series Poetry, did some poetry, and it's like some people could have not understood what his poetry was and still enjoyed it.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
it's like that's part of the experience. So I don't know. I feel like it's crazy because it happens a lot with visual art. That's my thing. With visual art is what happens the most. Because with music as an art, you could be listening to the biggest gangster in the world and you don't know half of the stuff he's lived. You never lived half of that life.
Yeah.
And you don't feel like you have to make yourself understand it to enjoy the music.
Yeah,
You
this is like the subjective versus objective, right?
Mhm.
Once you put the power of like thought and concept into the viewer,
Mhm.
then these guys can come up with whatever the fuck
Yeah.
they think is right. So it's like tough. Like when it comes to like film and
Mhm.
any type of visual art, film, movies, sorry, just so redundant. Film, television, etc., like visual pieces of art, like the Basquiat exhibits and stuff. People could just say whatever the fuck they want, and they could be right.
They could be right.
And it's just me just sitting back hating like, yo, he's fucking Steve Jobs looking nigga. Yo. Shut up, you liar.
Nah, I don't rock with that though. I'm with you. Like I just, especially because when we used to work for Narcity, we did some stuff where like it was at like art shows and there was art involved. And speaking to some of the artists who were like a part of it, they're not even thinking of it that deep. They're talking about it like, yeah, this is just cool. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's like, or what it's even describing is very simple, but the art itself is more complex. And it's like, this is just talking about a rebirth in your own life of starting a new journey, quitting a job, new relationship. But the art piece itself has so many different parts that everyone means is, what it actually means is, but it's just as simple as, I'm just starting a new part of my life.
Yeah. Sometimes it's the story behind the artist too that kind of makes for the actual piece. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I have hard times believing a lot of that. I just feel like most artists are like full of shit, or like people who are like super into it might be just full of shit. And
I
they
think
just,
it's that. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or they just want to be like, everyone just wants to come off like super smart, super well, like know everything, and like be like, they use a lot of, I find this like, especially in the corporate world, people just love like these buzzwords that they can throw out there.
Oh my
Yeah.
God.
And someone who's just not paying attention is like, oh wow, this guy knows what he's talking
I heard
about.
a nigga say paradigm 3 times. I've never heard like paradigm used in conversation.
Casually, yeah.
You
like,
guys have a friend who starts using different words around girls?
Oh, me,
yeah.
dude. Me.
Nah, the
I turned into the dictionary, bro.
Yo,
What?
Guys are walking
the
into the
$10
forest.
words are crazy. Are crazy. Did you guys see that video with Nas and that professor? And they were going over the lyrics from, I forget what it's a song of Illmatic, but song of Illmatic, and they're going through the lyrics, and she's calling Nas a poet and going through his lyrics, and she kind of does what we're talking about, and she says, in this part, I think you have a double meaning of saying the brain and the cranium, and Nas is like, I wasn't saying that, but now I am.
Yo.
And it's like, like everything doesn't have to be deep. The saying something straightforward can also be profound and meaningful, So I think that this idea of like, I have to make it sound so fancy for it to be meaningful is like, it's funny. I think that people don't grow out of that. When you're younger, it's a huge thing. When you're like a child and you hear adults use words you've never heard before, you're like, the smartest person of all time.
Yeah.
And you would think as you grow older, you know better from working in corporate settings, seeing how people behave.
Yeah.
It doesn't change. As you grow older, it continues where people are still trying to be pretentious, still trying to use these words that they don't really know what they mean. And it's like, I thought we were past that.
Bro, let me tell you something. When I was younger, like high school times, I used to think that the teachers were like
geniuses.
Jesus, walking up and down, you know what I mean? Like they own these halls, these walls that I have to come into every Monday to Friday, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then now that I'm 30 and I'm seeing these same teachers on like Hinge,
I was gonna say, yeah,
and Bumble and
oh
shit.
my, I forgot about that.
And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, yo, and I'll go out with like people of this age, and I'm like, yo, there's some teachers that are out there like 24, 25.
Yeah.
And these are the age groups that like you and I are seeing and dating and being friends with in terms of like the males as well, right? And yo, there's so many dumb niggas I know out there that are teaching kids.
Yeah.
But then when I was a kid, I thought this guy was like the greatest person ever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was funny. You almost assumed that to be a teacher, they were the top of their class. Like, when you're in grade 10 or whatever, and you're like, yeah, I have no idea what's going on. Like, I'm lost. You thought the teacher was a smart kid in your class.
Yeah.
Mind you, the smart kid in your class probably became something completely different.
100%.
Yeah, dude. I feel like it's scary when you think about that, right? And how some people still put so much stock into it. And then like, I don't know. I just think about like, yeah, like you like having kids eventually, like them going to school, and I'm like, this could just be some idiot who's just trying to get to the end of the day
What?
You know what
and
I mean?
phone it in.
You're gonna do a parent-teacher interview once you have your child. You're gonna do a parent-teacher interview, and you're gonna look at this guy and be like, yo, this guy's a dumbass, and he's telling me my kid's not listening, bro. You listen to me.
Right?
You listen to me, nigga.
Nah, 100%. Like, I like that you brought that up, because with teachers, that's a good example of like, you just assume they're the smartest people ever.
And shout outs to teachers. That's a difficult profession.
Yeah.
No, for sure. But
some are great. Some are great.
Some are amazing. Yeah.
I was saying this before you got here about like, especially me being a journalist and going to journalism school, thinking about how the world looks at journalists and reporters and writers. And it's like, yes, I think you're right to have that respect for us, but going to school with all these people and like dating them, partying with them, seeing it, it's like that. I'm not losing respect for them, but they're not on this pedestal of like,
nah, you're gonna do a parent-teacher interview on a Monday, and that teacher just went out and turned the fuck
They
up
are hungover
over the weekend. You know what I mean?
did crazy drugs.
Yo, speaking about the media though, like I would always like we'll be watching Sports Center, the media, and you put so much stock into what they say, and like, oh, these guys are famous. They're depending on whatever kind of field you're in. You could even be like listening to the radio or certain podcasters, right? And you get like super like indoctrinated into like that kind of like club, right? Like, you know, you watch the same shit every day, you listen to it, but like, and sometimes you'll like learn something from it and you'll take it and you'll start saying it all the time or you'll start sharing it around. But like they could be like full of shit and you probably didn't fact check it. I'm just talking about myself right now. I do it all the time.
No, 100%.
And I've definitely caught myself been like, ooh, I'm just talking shit right now because I'm just repeating, you know, something that I was listening to, and then it turns out it's just all bullshit.
I guess they don't have the power. They don't know the power that their words actually have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes they're just saying shit. They're just doing their job or whatever. They don't realize that there's some person out there that's like
taking it
absorbing
verbatim,
everything that you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So,
but is that on us too then? Like, is it our fault for like, you know, we're putting too much stock in what these people say and we got to kind of be like, you know what, man? Like even on this podcast right here, right? Like sometimes we'll have more serious conversations. Sometimes, you know, we're talking about different stuff.
Yeah.
Sometimes we're just bullshit and talking shit and like out of context could sound whack. But
100%,
it's like,
but somebody might take that and just absorb it.
yeah.
So it's tough because it's like, you're a smart guy, Chris.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, well, you know, you've been hyping me all episode, so I got you.
Gotta return the favor.
You're a smart
Appreciate
guy.
that,
You have the ability to critically think, right? But yo, subconsciously you'll be watching ESPN and Stephen A starts saying some dumb shit and it just kind of absorbs in your brain and you're like, all right, cool, but you're a smart guy.
Yeah.
But maybe you just took the wrong piece of information.
Or what mood you're in at that time, right?
Exactly.
You know?
That's the thing, is it is information. Whether I think it's like it being information does not matter of being factual or not factual. It's still information. And so it's our brain is just recognizing as information, it feels like, and it's just information. Now we have more information and more information. And the more information you have, you're going to feel more intelligent and feel more compelled to share it. Whether it's factual or not, you're like, listen, I have 8 gems from this podcast I didn't have before.
Yeah,
I'm going to share them. And so it's like, it's almost because there's no one on the planet who is going to feel less intelligent having more information. Do you get what I mean? So it's like it's almost like a human thing of like, how am I not going to take this information and just feel like I have a little more now that I have it? It's another step to like verify it and use the context of it and say, oh, Kendrick Perkins is saying this because he knows Doc Rivers, you know, but it's still information regardless.
Yeah, that's why critical thinking is so important, bro.
Talk about it.
A lot of people need to develop that.
Do you think people also get like just they're afraid of like having the wrong opinion or saying the wrong thing, and they just want to like kind of go around with the group speak? You know, and it's like it's okay to critically break down something in a respectable way, right? Like there's different things you can talk about, and you can just be spiteful or you're just coming from a negative side. But if you're like questioning something and you're just trying to like talk about it,
I have had a lot of conversation with people that like I know basketball. I know the NBA. I know the inner workings on a business level, and then on a player level, and then on an on-court product. Like I just watch it so much, and I can like deduce certain things. I know the difference between talking to somebody that knows as much as I know, if not more, and somebody that just literally watches like a couple highlights or sees a couple things on IG or listens to Stephen A. Smith every day. I keep shooting shots at this guy, but listens to these talking heads. You know what I mean? So I can tell the difference between a conversation with somebody like that and then a conversation with somebody that's critically thinking on basketball. Like for you to just say, yo, Kendrick Perkins played with Doc Rivers, so maybe that's why he has this inside knowledge. Somebody else isn't thinking all that shit, bro. They're just taking the face value. And, you know what I mean? So I find it difficult sometimes when I get outside of basketball, because I have a lot of friends that follow the EPL, follow Champions League and stuff. I know it on a general base. So now I turn into that guy that's listening to the talking heads. And when I talk to them, they're talking critically about certain things. And then I'm like, okay, I kind of get it. But I know myself. I don't really know what these niggas know.
And I think that that's a good thing about self-awareness, that you know that because you have friends who know more.
Yeah.
So you're like, there's levels to this, you know? But it's the thing about information is like, I'm saying this at work, there's some people now, especially with the NBA, but all sports, who might listen to a podcast about sports more than actually watch the sport. And if they listen to a podcast about the sport 3 times, 4 times a week, that's 4 or 5 hours of information they're taking in, but they're not watching 4 or 5 hours of basketball.
No.
And so it's like, how are you going to deduce that in yourself that I don't know as much as Ralph knows when I have 5 hours of information every week coming into me? And so it's like what you said about knowing the levels of like EPL. I know a basic EPL, but I'm not gonna give you the nitty gritty like I will about ball.
Yeah.
Most people don't have that context with all these other things because
Yeah.
they're the only reference point. They're like, listen, I listen to podcasts all the time, so
Yeah.
I know.
And then my EPL friends, they come to me and they'll be like, "Yo, what do you think about this NBA thing?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
and then you see, yeah.
Yeah, so I appreciate shit like that for sure. That's a good point, Chris. Definitely.
Yeah, because you guys can break down those sports and talk about it. They're just like forming an opinion that's really just like this podcast opinion. They're just going off what they say.
Exactly.
Yo,
You're like looking at it and being like, "This is how I feel about this," not like
That's like this is the last thing about this. That's what I think I'm noticing now more with any topic, whether it's someone talking about dating or free thinking or sports. It's like I can tell that this sentence you just gave me came from someone else's mouth on a podcast. You know, like it's so obvious.
Don't kill me.
So you can kind of at least now I'm being able to know, even if I'm not knowledgeable, I might not be knowledgeable, but I can tell that what you're saying to me, you heard someone else say, and you're just repeating it.
Yeah, you haven't formed your own opinion about it. You're just kind of repeating.
Exactly. Yeah. So this new Quavo song, "Greatness." You haven't heard the song.
I haven't heard the song yet. No, I just.
So I think the song is decent. I always thought Quavo was the worst rapper of the group. So, I'm not dying for new Quavo music.
I would say he's the worst solo artist of the group. Yeah.
That as well. But in the song, he basically talks about that him and Offset are never coming back together, and the Migos are done.
So, are those two things like I gotta see the lyrics? But is it like mutually exclusive? Like, did he say the Migos are done, or did he say I'm not working with Offset anymore?
The Offset part, I'm gonna look at the lyrics now and see, but the Migos are done part, that I remember.
I mean, the Migos are done. Like one member passed away.
Yeah.
I just know he made some comment about it being over, like cause Takeoff passed. It's like there's no reason.
Yeah, it's impossible to do the Migos. Yeah, and I get that because like even when Takeoff was alive, they weren't considering themselves the Migos. They just called themselves Unconfused.
It sounds like to me like there's like Takeoff might have been the one that was like trying to keep keeping them together. Like maybe there was a rift between Quavo and Offset.
I heard some shit like they were arguing at the Grammys.
Yeah,
because Quavo did that performance,
and Offset wanted to go out and they wouldn't.
Yeah,
I didn't hear
know
that.
If there's validity in that, but
that's pretty crazy.
Hope not.
I feel like them breaking up has to be one of the saddest breakups in hip hop. Like,
because it's family.
It's family one, and I think that them being solo artists was definitely like everyone welcomed it for sure. They all three had solo projects. They all were moderately successful, but I think everyone felt like they were going to be their biggest as a group. I don't think anyone thought.
Yeah, they're at their best as a group.
I don't think anyone saw them and was like, once Quavo goes solo, like Quavo had his run doing features for sure before their big success, but I feel like everyone could agree them as a group was what it was.
For sure.
Yeah.
So seeing them break up is like pretty heartbreaking. Here's what I think. I think that Quavo, I don't know if this means that album's coming out or what's the deal with him, but I think that Quavo is going to have a pretty steep drop off. And I don't know how Quavo is going to handle that because Quavo is definitely like money to the ear, ice. You know what I'm saying? Like that's his whole energy is like, I'm at the top dog. Like, so I wonder how that's going to go because I don't think he's going to have the Migos type of success as a solo artist. And I think Offset is going to be a huge solo artist, personally.
And I don't want to pit these guys against each other or anything like that. I would prefer if they tried to work together. I prefer not even work together. I would just love for these guys to just be
cool,
cordial back with each other. You know what I mean? I thought that the passing of Takeoff would have brought them a little bit together due to them being family. So seeing this, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit as a music fan and an Migos fan. I don't know. I wish they found some type of common ground to just chat, but maybe they did and it got worse.
I don't like that this is a theme in hip hop, it feels like, of groups like breaking up. Like I don't mind the artist going solo. I don't mind that and staying with the group. Like an example is Paramore just dropped their album. Hayley Williams was solo for years, and now Paramore's back as a group. Tribe Called Quest, Q-Tip had his little solo moment, and they dropped their album a few years back. So I don't mind having like a mix of the two, but I just hate that it seems like every group is gonna somehow like break up because the Migos were basically the last group that we had in hip hop. Like, and now they're super, and this is public too. You know, like Andre and Big Boy wasn't as public.
Yeah.
This being public too, it really hurts.
Yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough just seeing this as a music fan. I feel like the media they're just prying away and trying to get as much bad information as possible.
Hmm.
I'm gonna listen to this track though. Did you find the lyrics?
Yeah. I don't see anything in here about Offset, but he is saying that like take pass. So he said take pass is done. Don't gotta ask about the group. He gone, we gone, young nigga can't come back. I'm gonna make sure mama's straight, especially mama take. So
Yeah,
it sounds like
it-
they're done.
I mean, yo, the Migos, as I said, like the Migos can't be the Migos with two mans anyway. So I
Nah.
don't know. Maybe time heals all. We'll see what happens.
I think last thing is he has to start rapping for real. This track, when you hear it, is like more of him like really trying to rap.
Yeah.
But I feel like that is the path for them to be successful, because even the quote unquote mumble rappers or trap rappers or whatever, even those guys are rapping. Like
Yeah.
Thug, Baby, like even Dirk to some degree, like those guys are rapping way more than Quavo is rapping.
Facts.
And Offset can really rap, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that the sound has kind of passed him by in a sense, where it's like when it started, their triplet flow was like almost ahead of where mumble rap was at.
Facts.
And then now it's like music has passed them. And when you hear the song, it's like it's rapping for Quavo, but it doesn't stand with the rest of the guys.
Nah.
Yeah, from the clips I heard, wasn't feeling it.
Yeah. No, I was just gonna say, because like they kind of like sonically, like the three of them together just kind of would fill out the different parts of the song perfectly, you know?
Mhm.
From like the the bars rapping to like, good melody and shit.
Ad-libs too.
Yeah. Oh man, the kings of ad-libs at the time.
Yeah, and I feel like I want to see Quavo do well, honestly, but this is just I like even this segment, because the tone of this segment compared to our last segment, like we sound like it's someone's funeral.
I know.
You know, like we just sound so much more down. Like
Let's get happy again. Yo, I actually forgot to say something.
Mhm.
When we were talking about, oh fuck, we didn't say this at all.
Tell me.
Okay. I like this. Get ready for this.
Okay, I'm ready for it.
Adriel. So we have our list, right, of topics that we need to chat about, right? Adriel conveniently skipped one of the little topic lists that we had here. So what we have here is Adriel's dating life and the lack of discussion around it.
That's correct.
And who steered the conversation from this to talking about Quavo? This guy right here. So we're coming back to it.
It was me.
We're coming back to it.
Okay.
Why don't we ever talk about your dating life?
It's not for the airwaves, man. It's not for the
Oh,
airwaves.
my dating life is?
That's a you decision. If you think it's for the airwaves, you can think it's for the airwaves.
I can pull up clips from old episodes where you're like, yo, Ralph, man, we got to know about this.
And I wanted to know.
So what's going on with you, bro? What's the situation right now?
I'll say this right now.
I'll say this.
I'll say
Any
this.
nigga that says that, says they're going to say very little.
You know.
Yo, yes.
I'm off the apps. I did go back on since we had our talk.
Are you off the apps?
No, I am off the apps.
Are you off the apps?
Yeah, why?
Are you off the apps?
I am off the apps.
Are you sure you're off the apps?
I don't have them on my phone. I might be still on my account or whatever, but I don't have them on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have them on my phone. Why? You know something? You might looking at me like
I went out with somebody
mm-hmm.
and she said she saw you on the apps.
You know something? You know, people say they see me on there, but I don't have them on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have it on my phone. But where I'm at right now is I'm really trying to like just chill. Like I'm talking to some people for sure, but I'm really trying to chill. Like I don't need to add no one else to the roster. If anything, I could cut down.
But
like,
there's a roster.
There's definitely a roster, but you know, roster could get cut down for sure, sure. My goal, and listen, for anyone who's seeing this who's on that roster, sorry, this is the way you got to find out, but by the time that the snow is gone, I'm trying to have an empty roster. I'm trying to have the roster be vanquished.
So everybody's gone.
By the time the snow is gone.
Rebuild.
Rebuild, but listen, this is going to be a big year for me. There's a lot of things I got going on. I'm really trying to focus. I don't need no distractions. You know, this is going to be a monumental year for Adriel Smiley.
Anybody that's ever said that to me, like, just I'm focusing on myself, and there's a lot of I'm trying to cut the distractions, are the biggest horrors that I've ever encountered, male or female.
I'm just trying to get to know myself.
Yeah, I just want to kind of understand myself a little bit more.
I didn't say none of that. I said it's a big year. I didn't. Focusing on myself.
I have God has a plan for me. This
God has a plan for me is crazy.
When I hear that shit, I'm like, yeah, this person is gonna be sexually active.
I just got to get ready. You know, what's the other one that people always say? They're like, oh, I just got to get used to being alone. You know,
That's hilarious.
I've used that one before, but I actually genuinely meant it.
No, because here's the thing. I feel like adding to the roster could just happen at the drop of a hat. You could not know someone 1 week. You like start talking the next week. 2 weeks later, you guys are talking every day. And it's like that could add up real fast. You know what I'm saying? Just by accident. Like you know what I'm saying? That could add up by accident. And it's like you end up with enough of those, and all of a sudden it's like, well, I'm talking to 10 people every day. Not me 10 people, but you know what I'm saying? Like
see the life of the privilege.
The life of the privilege.
That's crazy. So for me, I don't have a roster, but what I would say is
Ralph is just dodging the time codes, fam.
What's wrong with this guy? He's trying to get me in trouble. I don't have a roster currently. I've never really. I don't have. I've had like that in the past. I've had that in the past, but I currently like no. Coming out of like my last situation,
focusing on yourself.
Yeah, focusing on myself, focusing on my dog's wealth,
growing as a person,
growing me and my dog.
Yeah, you're a single father.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to bring too many people in our lives. You know what I mean? It's not fair to them.
Okay.
So fuck, I lost my train of thought. This nigga just fucked me up. What was I gonna say? I was gonna say that I don't currently have a roster, but anybody that I've talked to or anything like that, like I've given them that time and like that respect that like I will chat with you. I'll give you that time and that energy. I don't know if I can do a you and just drop people at the drop of a hat. Because I like cultivating like friendships and shit.
Man said that the drop of it. You feel like I'm a psycho.
He said as soon as the snow drops.
No. I said by the time.
This guy's just like waiting for the groundhog to like let him know.
Nah, but it's like giving your 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? It's a gradual.
This guy is giving people 2 weeks.
It's a gradual exit.
That's crazy.
Well, you're married, so it's probably a million years ago for you. But do you believe in the probationary period?
Into getting into a relationship?
And it's just dating, like, you know, at least 3 months before I really can decide how I feel, period. You know?
Okay, so I'm a weird case, right? My last 2 long-term relationships, we slept together really early. You know what I mean? And then we also, like, I decided, like, this is going to be my person extremely early, like, less than, like, a month.
Okay.
Like something like that. I'm like, yeah, I fuck with you. That's it. I'm good to go. I've regretted that decision of going, not the person, but going so fast.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do agree that there should be some type of probationary period for your emotional state with that person. How deep are you willing to let that person know that you want to get involved with them? I think it should be a few months, to be honest.
I think here's the thing. I have no problem like catching feelings for someone quickly. Like I don't like to like hide that from myself. Like I'm not gonna like suppress my own feelings. If I like you, I like you. That's fine. But deciding how I ultimately feel and what I ultimately want to do with a situation, I need to have more information to decide that. You know what I'm saying? I need to see you different situations. We got to spend more time for me to be like, okay, I decide we're gonna date, or I decide the roster is gonna stay the same. You know? I think for me, that's how I move. Is like I can't make a decision in 6 weeks. I could tell you I like you in 6 weeks for sure. You could have a great vibe, energy, everything. But I'm going to need some time to be like, okay, I've known you for a few months now. I could decide what I want to do. But I've decided that
once the snow drops,
by the time the snow drops.
You just had a snowstorm, so.
Yeah. Someone
you bought yourself a couple weeks.
Yo, everyone's looking at Groundhog Day. Let's not see what time they got left.
Crazy.
Nah, but because I think for me, at least this summer, I don't even want a roster this summer. You know, like if I meet someone cool and we could kick it, whatever. But I want to spend the summer rosterless.
See, Chris, when you're privileged, you can decide if you want a roster or not want a roster.
I couldn't tell if he's full of shit or
niggas like me. I can't have that decision to just I have a roster, I don't have a roster. Like. That's very interesting.
Yo,
there's no team over here.
This might be like some 3D chess game that we're not aware of. Like
maybe there is no roster, but he talking about it this way makes people believe that there's a large roster.
I listen.
So might make it more desirable.
Back
that's actually
back in the
not bad
day
point.
in college at Seneca/York, I used to try and convince people that I had no roster and that I was extremely celibate.
Yeah.
And how that went for me is why I don't do that anymore. Because they would be like, nah, I know that you fuck. I could just tell. I'm like, okay, I don't like that, but
No, I've gotten that before. Like, I would get somebody to say, like, yo, I know you're talking to enough girls and this, that. And I'm like, yo, thanks, but not me, yo. You got the wrong nigga. As much as I would love for that to be true at this very moment, I actually have nobody.
It's like, what am I wearing that makes you think that?
Yeah,
like,
what am I doing that it's like, you know? Because like for me, I'm insecure
Mhm.
sometimes, like especially when I was younger. I was
yeah,
super insecure. So if somebody were to say that, I'm like, yo, am I exuding some type of confidence that
that's not
that
there. Yeah.
you see in me that I am not displaying?
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's very tough for me to hear things like that. Like sometimes I just don't.
No, it's crazy. And I think too, it's a younger man thing of like of even wanting to have that be your vibe. You know what I'm saying? Like it doesn't serve me to have the energy of someone
Certainly
who,
no purpose.
you know, it doesn't help me in any way, shape, or form for it to be like someone look at me and be like, he has women in his life. Like that doesn't serve me in any way, shape, or form.
Some people are like proud of it. Like, and it's
Yeah.
I'm 30, bro. I can't be like getting excited over these trivial fucking things. Like, you know how exhausting it is to like communicate on a deeper level with more than one person?
Yo,
That shit's actually fucking exhausting as hell. Like, I don't like the constant texting and staying in communication, the phone calls and stuff. To do that with multiple people at this stage of my life is like, it doesn't make any sense.
nah, it's a full
Logistically, it's a nightmare.
It's a full-time job. Like,
to be honest.
Must.
And especially you're trying to do shit. You said you're busy this summer. You said you're always busy. You're always doing projects and shit like that. I'm doing projects and whatever. For me to throw on top of that, me getting to know 3 women at the same time, like for what, so I can brag to my friends.
Yo, that's
Nah,
that's like 3 sets of like mental warfare that you have to.
Yeah, I mean,
yo.
and then now I'm bragging to my
man.
friends that are all in relationships. So yeah, they might give me the attaboy.
Yeah.
But then they're like, yo, what's this nigga on right now?
Yo,
bro?
yeah.
Like, come on, get serious with shit.
And
I'm not trying to be that guy.
And that's the thing,
Yeah.
like I can't even hold you. And any man who's like real about themselves knows this. The roster is not over a relationship. You know what I'm saying? If you have the right relationship with the right woman, right
100%
person,
taking
like
that.
no, and forget about relationship. Even if you're talking to just one person, you're talking to just one person who like makes you feel whole, you feel respected. Like that's gonna outweigh the roster any day of the week. So it's like if you are of the mindset where you think the roster is above that, the roster is fine. Don't get twisted, but you should know better than the roster is not above that. You know?
That's a good point. I like that.
Yeah.
What do you think, Chris?
I have no comments on this conversation. This
There you go.
Allegedly,
Plead the
allegedly.
fifth.
was,
Plead the fifth. Plead the fifth.
Yo, that's so
I
funny.
will say though, it definitely, just the thought of having to like, because that type of shit is like nowhere in my radar. Having to like, okay, I was gonna say like having to consider someone's like feelings or like talk. I mean, now I'm saying that weird, but because I have my wife, but like, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to. I'm trying to watch my words.
No,
But
I think you're trying to say about talking to other people. Like
it just seems like so much
Yeah,
work
a
and
lot of
like
work.
stress and like things to like concern. Like it's so far removed from like my
Yeah.
lifestyle, being married for like been with the same girl for 10 years.
Yeah.
So it's like
and the middle ground, because you said this
Seems like a
before
lot
in the
of
last
work.
pod. Like me and Ralph are not dickheads. Like
no.
we're not pushovers, and we're also not dickheads. So it's like we're gonna still treat every single one of those
Yeah.
people with respect. You know
If
what
I
I'm
like
saying?
you, I'm gonna treat you with a lot of respect.
Yes.
And if I don't like you, I'm not gonna disrespect you. I'm gonna keep it moving gracefully.
Yeah. So it's like even with all that, it's even more work of like, you know, caring for someone's feelings. Like, yo, you feel this way. I'm acknowledging that. I'm accepting that.
Or like trying to learn a new person, you know? Like I listen to like like my other homies who are like single and they're like man, they're like in almost mid-30s and just out there, and like sometimes the way they talk about it just seems like they're just fighting for scraps out
Wow,
there.
Wow
like,
West, yo.
Yeah, and it's like they're dealing with like younger girls, and then they wonder why, like, you know, she's super immature and like this and that.
Yo,
and,
I'm gonna
like,
tell you something, man. As a man that
it
just came
seems
out
like-
of a 3-year relationship,
Yeah.
as anybody would, you fantasize about the streets.
Oh,
Yeah, yes, of
You
course.
fantasize.
Of
You think the
course.
grass is always greener.
100%.
I've had so many moments where I was like, because I was like, what, 26, 27,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I had so many moments where like, yo, I I can just be on road and just,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
You,
And then I
we
get
all
on
think
road
about
and
that, dude.
there's
Yo.
nothing on road, man. And
Ah.
like, there's, I had to, anybody that I've talked to since my relationship, I had to like really dig deep and find these people. You know what I mean?
They didn't
weren't
show
just,
up.
Yeah, they weren't just readily available. You know what I mean?
That's the thing. When you're in a relationship, it feels like the grass is greener one, but it feels like the other people are like so accessible.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, that's extremely, extremely not the case.
No, it's definitely not. Trust me. For
No,
anybody
that's a good
that's in a
one.
relationship and they're like, I'm itching, I want to go. Nah, stay with your person. Your person loves you. Your person understands you, and you understand that person. For you to go start fresh with a new person, especially, I'm talking to the niggas that are like early 90s babies and shit like that, like our age group. Bro, starting a new situation is not always the best opportunity when you have someone that you really fuck with. You know what I mean? So
because peace to me is like, I would say, top priority.
Yeah.
And it's hard for someone who I don't know to bring me peace, you know? Not saying that they're gonna bring me turmoil, but but it's like I'm gonna have peace within myself, and every interaction I have that's away from that is gonna be like a less and less and less peace.
Yeah.
So, okay, so now for me, any girl that I talk to, I gotta go send in my head like, yo, she gotta understand the things that she may not. I gotta know if she's okay with the things that I'm not the best at. So now it's like, okay, even the traits I'm not the best at, but now even the things I can provide and I can't provide. I'm not currently driving. So that's one thing I gotta be like, yo, I gotta think about how am I gonna have this discussion with her? Because yo, a lot of women don't give a fuck. A lot of women do. So that's something that's on my mind. Like, okay, I gotta deal with this. Then the next thing is like, are they okay with dogs? I gotta think about that now. This is something new. I just had my dog's young. So I gotta think about these things, right? My relationship with my family, like the things I like to play video games. I like to watch anime. Like, are you gonna give me that space and time to do it, or are you gonna look at it like, yo, what the fuck is this nigga on? So I gotta like do that every single time with every new person, and it's like it's tough, bro.
Nah, I think where I'm at now with it is like, yo, like I'm not even in the business of thinking about any of that. Like,
Facts.
I'm just like, yo, listen, if I don't do it for you, I can't help you. Handsome and hilarious. If that's not enough for you, like, I don't even know what to tell you. Like, that's just me. And the thing is too is like the value I find in myself. Like, if you don't find that value in me, that's on you. Like, you know, you don't know me as well as I know me, so I can understand it. But I'm also not gonna try and play the convincing game of like, I gotta make this person like me and show them how cool I am. And I'm like, yo, listen, like, this is what it is. If it's not for you, it's not for you.
Listen, you're going to any relationship, you're both prizes. And if you don't value my prize, it is what it is. If I don't value your prize, it is what it is. Let's go be prizes to other people.
Come on.
Let's be prizes together.
Moral of the story, everybody love yourself, man.
Yeah.
Love yourself above all.
Talk to him.
Yo, I gotta say though, on the end of that, Ralph, what you said, like if anyone was listening right now and they're in a relationship, I feel like that was a good deterrent. Like just the thought of having to go do all those different things and like trying to make it work with someone, oh, that just seems like so much extra work in life.
It's like when you go to the gym at an advanced age and you try to get back to your old physique, bro. The older you get, the less you're gonna be, yo, I can't do these squats no more. Fuck this shit. I can't run on the treadmill.
Ralph named like 5 things, fam, and there's probably 5 more outside of that.
That's that's the easy stuff. Like, wait till you get to some deeper layers.
Yeah,
man.
like
So,
I feel like when you're tied up in a relationship for a while, you think it's so easy because you know you're with a girl, you're like, yo, I'm the man, I'm the guy, whatever, like, and everything's going smooth, but there's so many things to learn about a person where it's like, it's greener.
yeah.
That's a good
Yeah,
one.
send that clip to your wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe cut out the part where you didn't know what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
Cut out which part?
Cut out the part where you didn't know what you were gonna say.
Oh, yeah. We just send her just the clip, the little snippet. Yeah.
When you say, Ralph, that was so smart.
Like, oh, babe, where can I find the full thing? Oh, these guys, they never post shit.
They just clip it.
They don't post a goddamn thing.
It's so hard to find.
TikTokers,
forget about
really.
it. All right, babe, let's go to bed. Yo, all right. We're towards the end of Black History Month, right? Chris's favorite month, our favorite month.
Yes.
Living life. Nice cherry on top of Black History Month. A black woman just got paid. Brittany Griner got a 1-year contract with her old team, the Phoenix Mercury, and she signed that. So she's going to be returning to that team in the next couple months. I think she's already in training camp.
Yep.
They're already doing her thing. But given everything that she's been through, this is amazing to see. So shout out to Brittany Griner.
I'm happy she's back. I'm interested to see what her like physique is like and her playing is like, because the WNBA has changed a lot since she's been gone. Even though it wasn't that long, like changed a lot since she's been gone. They have super teams now, and so I'm excited to see how that goes. But just the fact that she's back, because I know this for sure. There was a time where I wondered if she was ever going to come back, and I felt extremely bad for her partner, because her partner would kept telling that story of like the last time that she even interacted with Brittany was Brittany saying they're taking my phone. And it's like thinking about all that we saw on the news and everything happening. It's like while that all was happening, she hadn't spoken to Brittany either. And so it's like just for them to be back together, I was happy to see that. Of course, happy Black History Month.
So we're on the topic of basketball. I want to switch gears from women's basketball to the men's league, the NBA. I ended up watching the NBA All-Star game, depending on whenever you guys listen to it. I know a lot of you listeners have watched that game. And it was the worst NBA All-Star game I've ever watched. Damn near the worst, at least bottom 5.
They said worst TV ratings of any All-Star game in history.
I can believe that. So I think the lack of intensity is a big cater to this. I think the injuries kind of played a part in it. LeBron getting hurt, Giannis getting hurt. Those are two guys that kind of try a little bit more in the All-Star game. I do think that this next generation and this current generation of NBA stars, they care less about games that don't matter.
Yeah.
So it kind of leads into this shit, right? So I feel like Kobe's generation was the last generation that actually tried a little bit in the All-Star game. But Kobe mentioned it, like in his retirement. He's like, yo, the NBA All-Star game is like dying out. Like people don't care. So I don't know. I don't want to blame this next generation on LeBron in terms of like the player empowerment generation, because it's really good for the player individually.
Yeah.
But at the same time, the fans lose like a quality product. I don't watch as many NBA games as I used to. And I think that's just a additive to the fact that there's a lot of load management. The game itself is in the player's hands. Not even just literally, but even behind the scenes now.
Yep.
So when I see that, it makes it tough for me to like root for a team that's not my hometown team.
I think this load management thing is gone too far. I saw this stat that there's more injuries than there was 6 years ago, even though people are sitting out more games.
Yeah.
And I think that as Toronto fans, we have a different relationship with load management, because we're actually I would say the only, but the first load management championship with Kawhi Leonard. That we were a team that was amazing when he wasn't playing. He actually didn't play a lot of games, which left him out of the competition for a lot of awards. And we saw in the playoffs him carry us at times and, ultimately be the best player.
I think because of that chip, that allowed the Clippers to say, oh, yeah, we can just load manage Kawhi and Paul George whenever, and we'll get a chip like the Raptors did. But it's been 4 years.
And it hasn't happened. And I think a lot of the other teams are following suit, because when you look at like all these other teams that are doing load management, the teams that are winning, going to the finals, are not like the Warriors last year. They're not load managing Curry. He's out, but they're not load managing him. The Bucks the year before, Giannis is definitely not
playing as much as he needs to.
You know what I mean? And so I think that as much as this whole thing about guys ready for the playoffs, healthy, whatever, the teams that are successful for the most part aren't load management teams, because one, they build a lot more chemistry and cohesiveness.
Big point.
And as well, I think that their best players build way more of a rhythm. Obviously, if it's one game, you haven't played in a few weeks, Kawhi can be the best player in one game. A lot of these guys can do that.
Yeah.
But I think seeing these guys play a whole season, get better over the year, like develop skills throughout a season.
Yeah, camaraderie.
That comes from a consistent play. So I think that this load management thing is definitely, it's kind of a misnomer, because people are thinking it leads to whatever it leads to, and it really doesn't.
I seen somebody argue saying, oh, let's shorten the season from 82 games to like 72 games or 64 games. I'm like, yo, that's a slippery slope, because you do that, right? 5 years, 6 years from now, they're going to want it less games and less games. And then before you know, we're playing 24 basketball.
I was going to say, it must be football.
You know what I mean? We're playing one game a month. So it's tough. I ran into a situation last year. This woman that I know, her son is a super big like Curry fan, right? They come to play Toronto. They only come one time for the year. She got her money together. She bought the tickets, great tickets, got a jersey for the kid, everything. Curry, Clay,
Oh, I think another
Draymond.
game we're talking about too.
Yeah, like the list went on. Andrew Wiggins. I
Yeah.
think Poole was out. Like all 5 of their leading scorers gone. And this kid had to sit there and watch like the Raptors play like
The
the
B
bench
team,
man. You know what
yeah.
I mean? So this shit's tough, bro. It's tough. It's tough for the fan. Not a lot of people can afford these tickets, bro.
And I think that the actual way to help that is like you can't sit away games. I think that rule, that if they put that in, like that would really be helpful. Is like you can only sit home games where your fans see you all the time.
Yeah.
And then I think when it comes to the All-Star game, I think what you said about the injuries is the biggest thing to me, because I feel like the players set the tone. These new stars, like I was telling my brother during the game, most of the guys who are first, second time All-Stars aren't really shooting the ball. Shea wasn't really shooting the ball. Darren Fox, Anthony Edwards. It was the guys who, Joel Embiid, Jason Tatum, Kyrie Irving, who have 4, 5, 6 All-Stars under their belt, who felt comfortable, like, I'm going to shoot, I'm going to, do my thing.
Facts.
But it's the guys who were injured who I think set the tone of the All-Star game. Like, Chris Paul wasn't an All-Star. Kyle Lowry wasn't an All-Star. He was always someone who went hard in the All-Star game.
Yeah.
Giannis was like that. Steph Curry was like that. And so I think it's like, if you have all these stars who are going hard in the game, everyone else is going to follow suit. But because it was a different game, Kevin Durant is another one who usually goes hard. But it's like Jokic is definitely not trying. Luka definitely not trying. So you add up enough of those guys, and those guys are the better players on the court. If the better players on the court are not trying, it's rare that a first-time All-Star like Sabonis or like Markkanen is going to be going hard.
I think these guys, like, they love the game. They enjoy playing the game, but there's no pride in, like, the things that aren't benefiting them. You know what I mean? And the All-Star game's not directly benefiting you. You know what I mean? Like, there's no incentives. There's nothing like that. I don't know how to fix the All-Star game, though. That's a deeper conversation. You can't really incentivize the game financially because these guys are already rich.
Yeah.
The only thing you can really do is incentivize by having something that's league-wide that affects the players after the game itself. Like, I know some leagues, whoever wins the All-Star game, that conference would
get home court
for the finals.
Yeah.
Like, maybe we work on something like that. I don't know, bro. I just, this shit's boring. I think any All-Star game going forward or All-Star weekend, I'm only watching the Saturday.
Yeah, the Sunday's not worth watching.
Sunday's been trash for the last few years.
I saw someone say that during All-Star weekend is when they should have that mid-season tournament, and that would be more exciting to watch instead. I don't mind that.
I would like that.
Yeah, because the All-Star break is longer now. It used to be 3 or 4 days. It's now really a full weekend for some players, more than that.
Yeah.
So you have like a 2, 3, 4 day tournament of some of the teams.
Why don't you take, because usually the bottom conference teams don't get that opportunity to get All-Stars that year.
Yeah.
Why don't you take those teams and do a small tournament?
That's something like the mid-season tournament, yeah.
Yeah, but just for the shittier teams at the
not
bottom.
even the one in the middle, like
no,
straight at the bottom.
And then whoever wins that gets a chance at a draft pick, the number 1 pick.
Yeah, I think
What do you think of that?
I think that would work. I feel, and I like that idea because those teams are playing for something that they would actually try hard for. The other one I've heard is a one-on-one tournament. I don't think that's going to go well.
No,
because
not this generation of players.
Yeah, the way they're not going hard in the All-Star game, they're not going to go hard.
90s, 2000s, them niggas would do that shit.
And
take pride.
The part I think is crazy, even though LeBron did get hurt a little bit in the All-Star game, players always say they don't want to get hurt, but I've never seen anyone get hurt in the All-Star game.
Not really.
So,
crazy.
It's like, it's crazy to me because y'all will go harder in practice. But
they go harder in runs at those LA Fitness Summit Hoop runs.
Yeah.
These guys go harder during the summer. You know what I mean? Rico Hines runs and shit.
Harder than the Rico Hines runs than the NBA All-Star game. And the thing to me too is like, I think that it is the players at the top who really make the change. I ended up actually watching the 98 All-Star game in full just because it was on TV. And when you watch that game, it's like it starts out with that energy from Gary Payton and Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and Shaq. Like Shaq starts a game with a jab step jumper. And you're like, why is Shaq you know what I'm saying? But it's like, it's part of them going hard.
Yeah.
And I think that I think that we're not in good hands, like you said, with the young guys now. These kids who are born in whatever year they're born in.
2000X.
Yeah, like, but I think that in a normal year, at least for the next couple years, where you would have KD, Giannis, Steph, LeBron, those guys are gonna go hard. And I feel like at least if the top guys go hard, that's gonna be a game. But for the future, when the top guys are gonna be Luka and Jokic,
I'm worried.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Because then they're just gonna lead the example to the guys after them and after them, and it's just gonna be a bad cycle. So I don't know. We sound like old senile niggas, but like
it's facts,
this is
man.
just what I'm seeing right now, yo.
It's facts. I saw someone say about Tatum, because Tatum now has the All-Star record points in the game.
I don't even care.
And it's also like a pretty fake All-Star record, because this game was so
niggas weren't playing defense.
You know, and when you it's funny when you look at the All-Star like top points in the game, it's Tatum, Curry last year, Anthony Davis the year before, and then Wilt Chamberlain. And everyone loves to hate on Wilt Chamberlain, saying he's playing with plumbers and all that. But you know that All-Star game Wilt Chamberlain was playing in was way more competitive.
You know they're fouling that nigga.
You know, so it's just crazy how it got so like uncompetitive, and especially with players who, like, the players I'm talking about who are the ones who are trying hard are the players who have achieved something. Like, all the guys I'm naming have championships: LeBron, Giannis, KD, Steph. Like, isn't that crazy that the Hall of Famers are the ones who are going hard?
Yep. And
the dudes who are it may be their only All-Star game. You don't know where their career is gonna go.
Yep.
They're the ones who are kind of like taking it,
don't want to play slow. Defense. Everybody's just too cool for school. Like, I don't know. I'm not feeling it, yo. I'm not interested.
It put a bad taste in my mouth, because I feel like the rookie sophomore game, the celebrity game, was better than usual. They having DK Metcalf in it, and even the rookie sophomore game, Jose Alvarado on the mic and all that.
Yeah, that shit was heat, yeah.
And then the Saturday night was better than usual when Mac did and Dame winning 3-point contest. So it's like overall the weekend was better than usual, you know? And then it just came down with
the Sunday, which is supposed to be the peak.
You know, so
it's crazy out here, bro.
Crazy.
Yo, these guys are low managing. These guys are taking their time because they're trying to get that bigger goal out there. They're trying to get the NBA championship, right? I want to make a bet with you right now, bro. All right. You can pick a team to win the NBA championship. I'm going to pick a team to win the NBA championship. And the winner has to, I don't know. I got to think about this one.
We'll come back to what the winner has to do. But maybe I think we should pick 3 teams each.
Nah, that's too much.
But what if none of us win?
Whoever goes further.
Okay. All right. Fair enough.
All right, cool. So I'm going to go with Boston to win the chip this year.
Okay. I'm taking Milwaukee. I thought you were going to take Milwaukee.
I was thinking about Milwaukee.
But
we both went east there.
Yeah. Well, I was going to choose Denver. I thought you were going to take Milwaukee. I was going to choose Denver. I think there is historically, it's funny because that's how I go off. It happens historically.
You know what? I'm gonna go west because you went east. I'll go with Phoenix.
Phoenix is a good one.
Yeah, I'll go with Phoenix.
I think historically, the teams that do well are the teams that have elite star players, but also play in a system. I think having two of those together helps. So Denver and Milwaukee both fit into that.
Okay. All right. So you could do Denver, Milwaukee. I'll do Phoenix, Boston.
Okay. Last one before we get to TV and movies, we haven't talked about the trade deadline or anything like that. We're both huge Chris Paul fans. Kevin Durant joining the Phoenix Suns.
Yes.
Tell me how you're feeling about that. Are you feeling like...
like we're back, baby.
Okay, because we talked at the Super Bowl, and I was saying like that run to the championship kind of put some fear in my heart to root again.
Christopher Anthony Paul. I don't even know if Anthony's your middle name.
It is now.
That spells cap. Christopher Paul, this is your last chance at a chip. I've been stressed, fighting, protecting your name for the last decade.
Plus.
Niggas be hating on me all the time because I'm a Chris Paul fan. I need you to realize this is your last chance at a chip. You have Kevin. You still have Book. You have Ayton. This is the last chance. We got close with James in Houston. We got close. You got injured. I understand shit happens. This is your last chance. Please get the chip.
I'm so worried because it's Chris Paul and he's let me down a million times. But I also am a huge Chris Paul fan. And so I'm like, they have to be feeling like they can win it. Like when I think about that team and Chris Paul like doesn't have to really shoot at all. You know, like my brother was asking me like who's gonna lose shots in that team, sacrifice gonna happen. I'm like, I think Aiton's gonna be even scoring more than before. He'll be like a 20 and 10 man, I think, still. And I think Booker and Kevin Durant are gonna be
March 1st. KD's back.
Oh, he's back March 1st?
March 1st.
Oh.
He said, yo, I need Black History Month to chill out, relax. I'm coming back.
We're on KD watch right now. We're on
March
KD
1st.
watch.
So y'all check it out. All right? I'm going to be there. I'm going to be there watching. You feel me? I might fly out to Phoenix for a game. You know what I'm saying? Let me see what the tax return says.
Jeez.
And I'll be out there.
Yeah, I feel like they really could win it. Like, that's a tough team to guard. Chris Paul does not have the pressure on him to score. He can obviously still get buckets. He's Chris Paul at the end of the day. But not having that pressure on him, I feel like it's going to be huge for them. My only real question is the chemistry. I feel like it's really hard for a team to add someone mid-season who's that big a part of their team and win. Obviously, we added Marc Gasol, the Raptors, and we won that season.
Yeah, but KD,
KD's not Marc Gasol. Yeah.
Game for sure.
So that's one thing.
Once you're great, you can be great anywhere. And you have a elite distributor by the name of Christopher. So we'll see what happens. But I got a lot of faith in them. All right, bro. Let's get serious, man. Movie's coming out. Jonathan Majors. One black man. Got real big. Got real D's for this movie. Next man, Michael B. Jordan. Got real big. Got real D's for this movie. I am not taking a female date to watch Creed 3. I refuse. I refuse. I will watch it. I like the Creed movies.
That's going to be a tough one.
But I might have to watch that one by myself.
You know what
I can't have this girl salivating over these niggas.
No, I took an ex of mine to see the first Creed, and it was
ex.
It was literally, it was all that. It was all that. Salivating for an hour and 90 minutes, but
that's crazy. 2 hours of salivating?
Crazy.
Dehydration.
Here's what I think though. I don't want to throw shade, but I'm gonna keep it 1,000%. Michael B. Jordan is an overrated actor.
Yeah, you've been saying that.
It's true. He's not horrible. Because there is horrible out there, but he's not the greatest actor. And
are you hating on him, or is this like your true?
No, this is. I'm a big Michael B. fan from The Wire, big Michael B. fan. But I think that movies like Creed have inflated his celebrity and his presence more than his actual acting. And so I think that, yes, for sure, the Creed movies are going to be a tough one to bring someone to. But there's definitely a lot of moments of hate in there where you'll be able to say, look how bad his acting is. And look how good Jonathan Major is at acting.
I would say Jonathan Major is a better actor.
That's what I'm saying. But they're not going there for Jonathan Major. For sure, they might get there and be like, "Oh, he's too." But they're not going there for him. They're going there for Michael B.
Yeah.
So you could use him as the Michael B. counterpart or counterpoint, and be like, "Listen, see how good an actor he is and how bad Michael B. is." Because them acting on screen together, that'll be more obvious. So you get the opportunity to be a little dirty Mac. Maybe you get that off.
Oh yeah. So you guys leave the movie and be like, "Yo, babes, how you feel about it?" Yo, Michael B. looks so good. Was the acting really good, babe? You know I can act better than him. You know what I mean? So that's how you dirty Mac? I feel you.
That's like, it's like what kind of movie fan are you? It's like you're only there for how he looks. Like,
come on.
You're not here for the art? Like,
babe, we really came here for the surface level shit?
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Dirty Macking on actors is wild. Especially you've never met them.
Wild. Also, he's directing it, so it's like badly acting in a movie you directed is pretty nuts.
Oh
God
damn, that's kind of a harsh thing to say.
No, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm just saying that would be nuts if that were to happen.
You think you're setting yourself up to hate allegedly. It now? Like you're painting that picture.
No, I think the Creed movies are his best movies. Like in terms of him having a lead role and everything. Like
he
was good in Black Panther, Fruitvale Station, of course. But like a full movie with him as the lead and like showcasing what he can do as a lead.
2 for 2 for
those are
so
his
far.
movies.
That's the best he could do. So even me dirty macking is me grasping at straws. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but I'll say this. I do want to see Creed 3. I hope this is the end of the series. I doubt it because this is his directorial debut. So I'm guessing it's not going to be the end of this.
I feel like 3 is good, bro.
I feel like 3 is good too, but because of what I'm saying, I don't feel like that's the case because in other movies, he's not doing as good as he does in Creed. He can get other roles, but he's not holding it down the same way. Like the movie he did with Jamie Foxx, he's not having the same gravitas in that like he has in Creed.
So what they could do is develop and grow the franchise, and maybe they do a cross like Fast 11, Creed 4, you know what I'm saying? So Michael B could box a car.
Nah.
Because Michael B's all about family, so is Vin Diesel. Maybe they have to fight.
I think that's a really good point you brought up. Like, great point. But the one thing that I think Michael B is missing that would kind of exclude him from the Fast franchise is that he has hair. I feel like just that alone is like they won't accept him. Is he willing to go bald for that role? At this point in his career, maybe not.
Every villain in the Fast movies has hair, though.
Oh,
damn near every villain.
So he comes back like Killmonger style.
Yeah, maybe. Maybe he has too much hair. And
not
enough family.
Not enough family.
So then Vin Diesel's like, fuck, I gotta deal with this nigga. This nigga needs more family.
He made the trade. He said, I gotta have one, either hair or family.
Yeah.
I'm choosing hair.
We need to cut this nigga's hair off and get this motherfucker some kids.
Yo, you know what's funny? That sounds like a crazy storyline, but is that even crazier than the actual movies?
Fam, I saw the Fast 10 trailer.
It could be the same.
That shit looks wild, bro. They just brought in another big D's guy. He's gonna fight Vin Diesel. He's connected with somebody from the past. These guys, Vin, let Paul Walker die, bro. Let him die, man. Let him rest in peace, man.
Yeah.
He's in this next movie, you know. Clips of him.
Did you? But apparently, what I heard, because I heard about that too, and I thought that's wild. They got his brother coming in. They're gonna CGI him to make it look like him. But what I did hear is apparently Vin Diesel never wanted to do it, but apparently Paul Walker's family approached Vin Diesel and was like, "Can you do this? We just want to commemorate our son, our brother, whatever."
See You Again has 1 billion streams. We already did that.
It's weird. Is it not still a little strange?
That's weird.
No, it's extremely strange.
I don't want to see Paul Walker's CGI in Fast 10, bro.
Because as much as the Fast and Furious movies are a huge joke, this is one of the few franchises that's not a superhero movie that like
damn near a superhero movie.
damn near. But we all know of it. We have some connection to it. Like we feel like it's quote unquote part of our family in some sense. So when Paul Walker died, it was a whole thing. It was like when you saw that movie where he died, it was like a whole deal of like they put him to rest. Sunset. Exactly.
It's like we lost Big Bro, man.
And it's funny because Fast and Furious is notable for having characters die and then come back. But they never get the send off that Paul Walker got. It's always
I think it's flashback clips that Paul Walker's in. Like it's flashbacks because the last, I think it was Fast 5 or something. Mm-hmm. The new villain in this is related to the villain in Fast 5, so they showed some Paul Walker clips from there, or they might add in some new CGI shit, but it's technically a flashback. Yo, just let it go, bro. Yeah. I don't know what the fuck they say in the movies, like he's watching the kids or something. Let that man watch the kids, bro. I don't want to see Paul Walker anymore, man. Like, let the man rest in peace.
And especially because the lines between the movie and real life are so blurred because Vin Diesel basically does nothing else. And Paul Walker was basically the fabric of Fast and Furious.
Facts.
And how he passed as well, being similar to what's happening in the movies, it was like, you know, like when he passed, everyone's like, yeah, his character is passed. Like everyone kind of felt the merging of those two. So it's like it's even crazier for you to bring him back and have like all these scenes of him because listen, in the comments, YouTube, let me know if I'm wrong. Are there people who are like, I want to see Paul Walker these movies again? Like, are people thinking that? Is that what they're asking for?
I don't think there's some diehard Paul Walker fans out there, bro.
I can't imagine that.
Be real, man, yo. Rest in peace to Paul Walker, but I don't think anybody was like, yo,
bring him back. Like, I gotta see him. Like,
fan casting him in the next. Nah, bro. I think when he passed, it was sad, but like outside of Fast and Furious, people weren't really connecting him with multiple properties.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like bringing him back is kind of OD, where no one's asking for that. But listen, this is a Fast franchise. We when this movie comes out, we definitely have to see it and talk about it because
we definitely have to see it.
We have to. We have to.
I don't watch a lot of movies, so like for that to be one of them, I don't know.
Nah, it's not. It's not even a matter of the level of movie it is. It's just for the actual ridiculous stuff that they're doing. Like,
I'll do it for the pod.
Yeah, it's for the pod. Like you got to think about where the movie has gone. Like someone brought this up on TikTok that I thought was crazy. There's a scene where The Rock falls off of the car and just grabs onto the truck while it's going.
That's fucking crazy.
And that's it.
He pushed. No, there was one movie. They're in the Antarctic and he
is he like holding two together?
No.
Oh, that happened too.
One.
That happened too.
Damn. Jesus Christ. So they were in the Antarctic or whatever. They're driving on the ice, and then this submarine came and shot a missile. So The Rock came. He leaned out the car, pushed the missile out the way, so his trajectory changed and went somewhere else. I was like, nah, I can't do this, bro.
That's why we have to watch it for stuff like that. Like, you gotta think of the movie start like because here's
you
what
sold me. I'm back.
What I love about movies and TV is when it starts out as realistic and you're like, okay, this can kind of make sense. Okay, this is like, obviously it's a dramatization, but you know, racing is a real thing. Like, you know, this kind of makes sense. And they just slowly, gradually turn it into a complete fantasy.
What's going to happen to this fucking podcast? So we're talking about basic shit and then slowly, this podcast is going to be on the fucking moon one episode. It's crazy.
I thought Hong Shing was going to be tight, dude.
Nah. We're going to be doing a podcast in the fucking
VR?
presidential suite. A VR podcast. Yeah, you guys send the donations. Let's get it done, yo.
I'm screaming.
Fuck, man. Fast X. All right, whatever. We'll go watch it as a group. Guys, I like the energy, man. I like being back with the homies again. I like it just being us sometimes. I appreciate y'all. 30 episodes deep. Mayor's Office podcast. You already know what it is. And I appreciate the listeners constantly staying and being with us throughout this very long but smooth episode.
Talk to him.
Let's get it. So let's get to our creator showcase real quick. My non-rap, non-R&B suggestion. See, I used to play a lot of rock band growing up. And
that's a game we could have put in our top 5.
We could have put rock band in there. And there was one song that really spoke to me because rock band, you guys listen to it. There's not a lot of hip hop in it. There's not a lot of rap in it. So I had to kind of appreciate the other types of music, the alternative shit. So there's this group called the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. They have a song called Maps. And when I tell you, this is one of my favorite songs ever.
Still.
To this day, I'll still have my moments where I listen to this 4, 5, 6, 7 times. Yeah Yeah Yeahs, Maps. Please, you guys go out and listen to that song. I love it.
Banger.
Banger, first of all. But I love people hearing about a song or learning a song from Rock Band or Guitar Hero. Like I think that's so cool. Even if like you never would have heard it otherwise. I don't think people shit on that. I think that's so cool. Hearing a song from Rock Band, Guitar Hero, underrated. For my non-rap suggestion, I actually went to R&B, but this is as a statement because the Grammys a couple weeks ago, Chris Brown took to Instagram, said, "Who the fuck is Robert Glasper?" Throwing some shade. And anyone who knows about Robert Glasper knows he is an absolute living legend. Some would argue more important to the genre than Chris Brown. I'm not going to go that far, but very important person in the genre. So he has a song called Over with him and Yebba. Absolute heater. And if you haven't heard Robert Glasper's album, one of the best albums of last year. So Over, Robert Glasper featuring Yebba. Please go listen to that.
Rocking with it.
Nice.
Chris, you got anything for the people?
Yo, I do, man. You're talking about bringing this or finding the song from Rock Band. So we were chatting the other week, and we're talking about Tony Hawk's Underground and all that stuff. And I was talking
Who
about
was chatting?
me, Adriel, and
Interesting.
it was in one of our
Mhm.
secret meetings.
Mhm.
But the reason I say that is because I've been thinking about skating lately. I've been talking about it, getting back into skating. So I went down a little rabbit hole. And for me growing up, like how I would find music that was like outside of like I'm talking about like late 90s, early 2000s, like other than like my cousin putting me on, you know, I'm hearing like what my friends are like, my parents are listening to. But it was skating, watching skate videos. So one of my favorite videos, shout out Top Dollar from Montreal, a skate video from Montreal Skate Company, had some of the swaggiest skaters on it. So one of my tracks, I threw it on the other day. The song is called it's an interesting song, but it's called Moonlight Desires by Gone. Gowan is the name of the band. It's like an 80s kind of hair. It's this
Yeah,
weird
yeah,
80s
yeah.
track, but that whole skate video, like just the soundtrack is like sick. It's like
Yo,
quite the mix.
you brought up a good point. That's kind of how I got into skate videos, was from the music. Like,
So important.
skate videos had the bangers. And you know what's funny? I think that people don't know that. Like, most people who skate have impeccable taste in music
Mhm.
and a wide range of taste, because those skate videos is not always one genre. You'll get the Moonlight Desires and Tribe right after it, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, big shout out to the skate videos. Because skate videos,
Yeah.
used to, they still have bangers.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they still have bangers.
Yeah, man. Top Dollar skate video. Literally that whole skate video, every track in it. Back in the day, I remember downloading off Kazalite back in the day, man. It was like, dude, they had everything on there. They even have 50 Cent. What was it? What was the song that was big back that was on it? Fuck. Anyway, it was a good mix, but a wild mix. Like you're going from like 80s to like rock to like
Damn.
hip hop to like some people just try to find the weirdest shit and just like make it work.
And
Yeah.
it's no rhyme or reason too. That's the thing.
No.
At first, I would try to like make it make sense in my head, and I was like, okay, he's skating in like an under income area. That's why, like I'm trying to make it make sense.
Yeah.
But it literally no rhyme. It could be one skater skating for 8 minutes, and it's 3 different songs, all different genres. So
Yeah.
a big shout out to the skate community.
The playlist is gonna come out very, very soon. So you guys check that out. Creator showcase. We haven't done this in a little bit because we had so many
Facts.
guests on. But I want to give a big shout outs to Hall of Fades Hair Studios. These guys got a lot of artists in there, a lot of cultivators, a lot of barbers, a lot of talented individuals. So shout outs to Jay, Marco, Mark, Jaden, Evan, Jason. You guys are doing a big, big job at Hall of Fame Studios. You guys are cultivating the craft, continuing to grow. Anybody that hasn't been inside a Hall of Fades, the aesthetic in there, the vibe in there, the music,
Big
even
energy.
the shit these guys are playing on the TVs is lit.
I like
feel
that.
me?
I like that.
So you guys go check out Hall of Fame Studios. I'm gonna put all their information in the bio of this episode. You guys go get a fresh trim, fresh cut, get the beard looking nice, get the beard looking fresh. Shit, I'm gonna be in there tomorrow. You guys just saw 2 hours of my nappy beard. I'm about to go in there and fix that. And these guys are the guys that I trust. So I appreciate Hall of Fame Studios. We're actually gonna do a live episode in there very shortly. So you listeners, you watchers will get a chance to experience the place.
Yeah, I'm excited for everyone to see that live episode that we're gonna do over there. And I would encourage people to come out. You could stand outside and look through the window like some 2002 shit. Like
Window shop the episode.
Yeah, window shop the episode. But this episode has been a great one. I feel like we're ending off Black History Month on a big win.
Very strong.
I'll say this. I feel like we had so much to talk about this episode, but also we just kind of created a whole new episode with topics that we could have covered.
We have damn near 2 episodes in one.
Basically, we helped Chris, have a clip to send his wife. Very, 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 very
We helped him
important.
with his divorce.
I have a clip to send the roster, and you
have a clip to send the Soca community.
Yo, love Soca, love Soca.
There you go. There you go.
Clean it up.
But shout outs to everybody that took a chance to listen to us. I know we were delayed a little bit in getting this episode to you guys, but we're back. We're back in full swing. You know what I mean? We're loose. We're ready to go. And you're going to hear these 3 voices for the next episode or 2 until we get somebody else up here. All right, guys? Shout outs to y'all. Adriel, Smiley Official. Talk to him.
Jeez, we said it at the beginning. You know what to do. Leave a rating and a review, 5 stars, not a single star less. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, wherever in God's name you're listening to podcasts. Make sure you're subscribed. Follow us on Instagram at
The Mayor Media.
That's a little bit of a delay. Subscribe to
We'll
us on
edit it.
subscribe to us on YouTube at
The Mayor Media.
And of course, until next time, cancel canceling, bring back bullying, know yourself, know your worth.
What do they call you? Handsome and
Handsome and hilarious.
there you go. There you go. Talk to him. Talk to him.